A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. An exciting day to talk sports from the city of Lagos right here in Nigeria. I'm Yemi Adebayo.
It's always a delight to have you join us to talk sports. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwa. And Yemi, I see Rivers United still celebrating their MPFL League title. And of course, more talking points coming from the WAFCON.
Yeah, that's basically the outlook of the show tonight. But tonight, we're going to start differently. We're going to start with cycling. We want to look at cycling, the fast-growing sport in Nigeria. I want to look at the reasons for it and what's behind it. So let's just go straight into what we have tonight. Joining us in the Lagos studio is Timmy Latif, and we'll be talking to him with regards cycling and every other thing. First, Timmy Latif, let me welcome you to the show.
Thank you for
and I mean, you have made me love cycling these days. But I'm very sure you're going to take our viewers through the story behind all of this. You know, I was interested when I was asking you how long does it take to ride a bike from London to Lagos. We'll get to that in a bit. But let's talk about the growing culture. It's like wildfire. Everywhere is getting lit up. So what do you think is responsible for the interest that people are beginning to have in cycling?
Personally, I think cycling brings community. It's good for your physical health, and just the ability to get on a bike, explore your surroundings, your area, as well as being amongst like-minded people are added benefits to the upkeep and growing cycling community.
And to you, cycling is not just a sport. It's an opportunity to bring people together.
100%.
It's an opportunity to reduce the gap in terms of opportunity for certain people, especially blacks, Asians, and other ethnic minorities.
Correct.
And what are the things that cycling has been able to help you do in terms of doing what I just mentioned?
Okay, so through some of the work we do, both in Nigeria and in the UK, using bikes to engage both adults and kids, we've been able to get people jobs with organizations that have helped us. We've been able to get people into areas that they may not have usually been able to navigate through because other people are being brought together through cycling. We've been able to give people opportunities to meet like-minded people in different sectors, and through the ever-growing cycling community, both in London and Lagos, it's just an amazing way to bring people together, for people to share their thoughts, their interests, and wherever people can assist, they have been able to do exactly that.
All right. Before I hand over to my colleague who's ready to go, what was on your mind when you decided to take a bike from London to Nigeria? You've told me how long it took, but I'm very sure the viewers would like to know. And there must be something you set out to achieve before you did that.
Okay, so I was personally inspired by another person who actually lives in Nigeria, who goes by the same name as me, Timmy Matthew, also known as Starboy BMX, for those of you who know who he is. And I would like to say he is a pioneer in the sport of cycling via BMX, which is an extreme sport of cycling. I saw a video he had done. It went viral. It reached me in London, and I was deeply inspired and taken back by his willpower and determination, with the lack of resources and opportunities there are in Nigeria for him to be able to pursue and develop what he's able to do. That led me to reach out to him via social media and Instagram, and before you knew it, we had struck up a conversation and a relationship where I was determined to assist in any way I could. I did fly to Nigeria before I ventured on that bike trip to meet him, and we had a conversation, and he explained a lot of the barriers that he was facing, and that just led me to start thinking, what could I possibly do to raise awareness and maybe get some support for what he's doing. So I decided to embark on a cycling adventure from London to Lagos in the aim to bridge the gap between the diaspora in the UK as well as those in Lagos, Nigeria, to see if we could essentially develop a program or a way to get the first ever kind of BMX hub or complex built in Nigeria. So I began my training regime, and I set off in November 2019. I crossed 14 countries before I arrived in Lagos, Nigeria National Stadium on December the 22nd, 2019.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I'm very sure my colleague also, Akman, also has a few questions as well.
Yeah, Timmy Tokwe, good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I'm in London, but I'm not going to get on a bike to Lagos, you know.
Okay.
But you did a great job.
Thank you.
Anyway, Timmy Tokwe, it's extreme sports, and you know the way we are in Africa, and parents get to hear about anything that is extreme, they tell kids to keep away, and we know the huge benefits involved in cycling. So, what sort of awareness campaign can you and your team do to make cycling acceptable, extreme sports also to be acceptable in Nigeria?
Well, we do have an event coming up on Saturday at the National Stadium in Surulere, starting at 11 o'clock, and it will end at 6 p.m. So that is a first-hand, or that could be a first-hand opportunity for anyone who isn't really sure what extreme sports is, to come down. It's a free event. There will be music, food, entertainment from the bike culture, the bike scene, as well as the rollerbladers we work with and the skateboarding community. So that is a taster of what extreme sports actually is. For anyone who's interested, please feel free to come down. And anyone who, after witnessing the amazing things that are going to take place on Saturday, want to pursue a career or take up BMX riding or even road cycling, feel free to speak to myself or Starboy BMX on the day, or any of the athletes that will be in attendance on the day, to get more information, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good. Timmy Tokwe. The Cycling Federation, they've been busy lately. I don't know if you're aware, they just concluded the track championships in Abuja. What are you guys doing with the federation? How can this become a national project?
So to be honest, I have reached out to a few people in the federation, but I'm yet to hear anything back from them. I will be cycling back to Nigeria next year, June 1st. So when I return to London, I will begin my training. And the aim for this campaign is to essentially try to get our BMX riders here in Lagos, Nigeria, into a qualifying position for the next Olympics coming up in 2024, which will be taking place in Paris, France. So in order for that to happen, and in order for our BMX riders in Lagos, Nigeria, to stand a chance in competing with some of the world's best, the infrastructure over here in Lagos, Nigeria needs to develop, or something needs to be put in place. Access to bikes needs to be a bit more easier, because as it is now, getting bikes through customs is a big challenge. And then the facilities, as well as the dietitianal stuff, the nutritional stuff, and the health sides of things. As you know, this is an extreme sports, so injuries can occur. We do need certain procedures put in place to enable the young people coming up to stand a chance in competing and being up there with some of the world's greatest, because for anyone who is able to come down on Saturday, you will witness firsthand the amazing talent a lot of these kids have to offer. And if there was a hub or a community set in stone here in Nigeria, I truly believe these guys could be on the podium collecting gold, silver, or bronze.
I hope so as well. Before we let you go, I want you to look into the camera and speak to. Austin asked you, well, parents that are skeptical. I'm seeing some of the moves those guys are making. I'm not sure if I want to allow my kid do that. But in less than a minute, I mean, look at these moves. People will say all sports have a level of risk, but being the Africans that we are, you look at this and you really want to get scared. But what would you say to encourage a parent to allow a kid participate?
I personally believe it's time for all of us in Nigeria to advance as the world is moving forward, day by day and step by step. These are young kids who have seen things online and have self-taught themselves to become pioneers and leading figureheads in this sport, where people like myself from London have been inspired by them. So if that doesn't speak the value of what they are doing, I don't know what else will convince you. But to all parents that are skeptical, this event is open to everyone, whether you ride a bike or not. It is for the community, put on by the community. So feel free to come out, witness it for yourself, and any doubts you have or any questions, just feel free to pop a message to myself or Starboard BMX, and we'll take it from there, like I said.
All right. That's a good place to let it land. Temilokwe Lateef, I want to thank you for your time on the show and wish you all the best with what you are doing. We need to take a quick time out. Austin alluded to it earlier. This celebration still continues. Rivers United having a time of their lives. Let's allow you, set your eyes on what's been going on behind the scenes with Rivers United. Mouth-watering cash flowing around. Promises made. Let's allow you to enjoy that. We'll come back for more of Sports Tonight.
Lifting the MPFL title is one victory that will elicit excitement for a long time in Rivers State, being the first time Rivers United will achieve such a feat since being merged from Sharks and Dolphin football clubs 6 years ago. After receiving their trophy on Sunday, the state government is today hosting them in a government house, Port Harcourt, where the coveted trophy is being officially presented to Governor Wike.
Hey, champion commissioner.
Your Excellency, sir, I stand here with utmost humility and with a sense of purpose to say that this wouldn't have been possible but for your well thought through decision to handle, to manage and direct the affairs of Rivers United Football Club of Port Harcourt. And today, your work has shown.
His Excellency, you have done so much for us. Right from the beginning, you have supported us and encouraged us in different ways. I remember last time, Your Excellency, when we hosted us as Rivers United, there was no trophy of this type of magnitude to present. And you charged us then that we should go, the next time you host us, that we must present a trophy, and which we promised. Your Excellency, today, you can see a giant trophy in your presence.
Then the moment everyone is waiting for. Governor Wike announces the mouth-watering rewards for the players.
First of all, having won this trophy for us, you are qualified, and the chairman of the award is here. So we have agreed that each of you will be given Governor's Medal Service Award. First. The Commissioner of Sports should make sure all of you will go to Madrid for 2 weeks and train. Then lastly, I know this is where your interest lies. You know, after play these matches, you have all kinds of knocks, pains, and this. Something should be able to cushion. Each of you will go home with $20,000, each of you.
Rivers United ended the season with 77 points from 38 league games to emerge champions.
All right, in the studio, we're trying to calculate the amount of money that equates to. And of course, Governor Wike said he knows that's the part a lot of people want to listen to, the players, their families, even journalists. And some of us are wondering why we didn't go ahead with our interest in football. Probably will be one of the guys in there. But that's for laughs anyway. All right, we better switch. Bolo Money joins us now as we continue with the show. And there's no better way to start his own segment by commenting on what he has just seen. Bolu, greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us. A quick one on what you listened to.
Good to be again. I was warming up to prepare to do my own cycle riding. Okay, my own will be to go and meet Austin in London, so we'll come back together. Well, I think one of the things that is the major problem we have is funding, sponsorship, and support. I say it all the time. If you know, let me do my job, and funding is sure. Believe me, almost every player will give beyond their best. Yeah. Now, you know, they've won. Remember, after winning their last game, they were promised $1 million each for just that match. Now you'll be getting 20K, like you said. We're trying to calculate $20K to Naira is at least, wherever I decide to change, is at least 12 million Naira. That's at the rate of 600, and then that is money. This guy will give beyond their best to try as much as they can to win the CAF Champions League, because if they get $20,000 for winning the NPFL, believe me, they will likely get the same thing or even much more for the Champions League, and the cash bag is the Club World Cup. I think I like what they're doing. I hope it's not audio. When I heard that was the first thing I said, I hope it's not audio money. If these guys get it, they'll probably do everything they can to do much more next year. So congratulations to the players.
Rivers,
they are $20,000 richer.
Rivers State don't do audio. I can tell you that for a fact. All right, Austin, I see Austin smiling as well, probably trying to punch his calculator. I don't know, maybe he has the right figure. Austin, did you get the right figure for the amount of players we were getting?
I don't want to do that, but yeah, I think Bolu was right about 12 million Naira. And guys, it's not just about the governor announcing $20,000. He made a commitment that was very, very important in inspiring the guys. He said, if you go beyond the group stage of the CAF Champions League, we will double it.
Wow.
So he said, you know, and so the guys already have something they're looking forward to. First, they will go to Madrid, they will go and chill, see the way things are done right there in Spain, get some motivation, and then come back home to start getting ready. Look, we've said it. It is what you sow, you reap. Rivers United, from 2015, when they merged Dolphins and Sharks to become Rivers United, they've been showing that they want to rule football in Nigeria. And you can tell that the state government, they've been doing their part. And we've said, look, if government won't hands off football, then do those things that will make it look like it's a bit professional, you know. And that's why it was important for Bolu to ask, hope it's not audio money, and he said, no, we revert it now, because we've seen the governor and the state do these things for their football team over and over again. Rivers Angels, not just even football, you know, when they host the wrestling championships or join the competitions in Port Harcourt, they make sure that they do it up to quality. So congratulations once again to Rivers United. And for those of us who want Nigerian football teams to do well on the continent, we want to wish them all the best and say to them that the work has actually just begun.
Yep.
All right, so that's it. Well, before we go on the break, Austin, I'd like you to do us the honors.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but this kind of motivation surely will help them do well in the Champions League.
It will. Yeah, I mean, you know, as I said, this is what they need to hear. This is what the media should be talking about. You saw the players out there, they were celebrating, how excited they were. In fact, not just from today, the last day of the season, when he announced that each of them were going to get 1 million Naira for just that win, they were, you know, motivated. So we need these sort of things, and Rivers United and the Rivers State government should also find a way to bring in some private, you know, partnership into this to make it a proper football club, make it professional, and then, you know, find a way to you know, take the back seat and let persons who know how to handle football properly take over it. Hear me? It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, there's still so much more to talk about, so don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're taking a look at what's going on in our world of sports. We're just reviewing Rivers United and them winning the Nigeria Professional Football League. State government saying, look, you've done so well, monetary rewards here and there, motivating them to go all the way, particularly when they play on the continent. Let me take it back to Yemi and Bolu in Lagos. Bolu, Rivers United, with the support they are getting, you think this time around when they go to the continent it will be a different story?
I think the first hurdle for them now will be qualify for the Champions League. Remember all the teams that we've had, they do everything, dominate in the country. When they lose, many of them lose the first round of the Champions League, drop to the Confederations Cup. Some of them don't even get to the group stages. If they get to the group stage of the Confederations Cup, they don't get to the knockout stages. I think we should go based on what we saw in the just concluded NPFL season. We should be confident that Rivers United and Plateau United will do well. Remo Stars are one of the properly well-planned teams in Nigeria. If the way they play the season, if they invest well, they may go far on the continent. That's the CAF Confederations Cup. But beyond what mouth can say, beyond what we saw last season is gone. Remo Stars, they finished third, Plateau have finished second, Rivers United are champions. Yes, not that there's time for break, but I believe even during your break, especially the coaching crew, they should be thinking about, we want to win the CAF Champions League again. There's nothing stopping Rivers United from playing the FIFA Club World Cup. Remember, it's a different ball game entirely. Gone are the days of the Intercontinental Cup. This is FIFA Club. If you think you're making money, $20,000, qualify for the Club World Cup. You will know there's more money to be won there. And this time around, it's not just players, it's for everybody. So I think if they plan well, based on their dominance, their performance, not that half of the players will be sold before the new season. Some will go abroad, some will go to the other club. They can keep the crop of these boys. And maybe if it means increasing their salary to inspire them more. These guys played so well. Many of us knew they were definitely winning the league as at match day 20. Based on their points gap, their dominance, their unbeaten run, their home record. If they continue in this vein, I think they should do well. At least, like the governor said, qualify for the knockout rate. In knockout stages, anything can happen.
That's right. Congratulations, Rivers United. We'll continue to monitor the progress of this team, and then hopefully they will go to the continent and make the country, you know, proud playing football. Let's move from Port Harcourt, the River State's capital, Yemi, and go to Yenagoa in Bayelsa State. It's just about an hour ride, you know, by road, so we're not going so far. The fourth edition of the Prosperity Cup has been concluded. EGM FC emerged champions. It started as the Governor's Cup, and then it went to the Restoration Cup, and it was christened now the Prosperity Cup. What a story. Over 350 communities in Bayelsa State took part in this competition, and the objective is simple: use football to empower the youth in the community. That's what we're talking about, that football should go beyond just competitions. Type programs around it, and it will touch lives. So EGM, they defeated Odioma FC 2-1 in the final of the Prosperity Cup. Guys, why I like this one is because of the consistency. When the former governor started this, they said, look, it's not going to be one of them, pass it around. And this is so good, particularly for youth and community development. Let's go to Yenagoa and get some talking points, and then Bolu will give his views also.
Headed away. And there were great successes. For the first time, we brought in 2 sets of foreign scouts from Australia, from France, from South Africa. They came here, the first team, and then again from Eastern Europe. And they selected players that are going to Europe. In the next few weeks, a number of players are going to ply their trade in Europe, and that is the most exciting part of this tournament, and that is what I'm happy about.
I believe, like, other people should follow the governor's step and bring the youth together, because of so many youth are doing so many things in the state. But due to this tournament, I believe so many lives will be changed.
The standard of play is very high. And you can hear the representative of the NFF telling you that football is here in Bayelsa State. I congratulate you all of you who participated in this tournament. And as you know, sports, and in particular football, is a unifier. This tournament has brought together 206 clubs across our state, the largest tournament in this country. This tournament has brought peace to our state and unity to our state. We believe that this is the best way to engage our youth. And through this tournament, a lot of talents will be spotted. Scouts have been here, and I believe that Bayelsa United will be the most benefiting club from this tournament. This is a government of prosperity, and therefore, all of you who have participated, not only participating, those of you who have the talent and the skill, I am sure that this tournament will expose you for a brighter future.
So that's it. What's there to add? You heard the governor saying that this competition has done this, it has done that. We want to use it to engage the youth. It has promoted peace and unity in the community, and it has done so much. Bolu, I think we should commend the Bayelsa State government for all they're doing for sports development. In wrestling, they're there. Bayelsa Queens dominating. When they went to the National Sports Festival, Bayelsa was actually the surprise package. And now we're seeing this. It said something very important, that Bayelsa United will benefit from this because they can actually look inwards now.
And one thing is that to do for Bayelsa United, looking inwards, they are spending less. Normally, if they want to pick player from maybe Lagos State, maybe MFM, maybe Ibadan, wherever, at worst or at least, you still pay for the flight of the player. Here, even if some of these deals are okay, just take him, at least you still fly the player down. But for these guys, you don't even need to fly anybody. Speak with either the academy or the club they play for, agree and move on. One thing I like to do is people say these things and you do. It's a different, okay, we will. I'm a governor that loves sports, and in 200 years, we don't see anything called sports. I love the youth. In 5,000 years, nothing about sports. It's just talk and talk. But I like it when you talk. I still remember the day we talked about that. They are bringing in scouts and everything, where a scout from Mamelodi Sundowns came around and he said he's been to different countries in 5 years, about 20-something countries, scouting players. And for people like that to be around, it can't be so bad that they won't say at least one player. And you listen to one of the organizers that said they have seen some players that they will pick. It means even if it's one player that will be signed up this competition, to an extent you will call it a success story. It means they didn't just do it in vain. And like someone said, beyond the money is good. Yes, 5 million there for a team. Even if it's 1,000, you see collect, take a drink and a bite. But beyond that, sometimes it's not even the winning team that gets most of their players abroad or get it to clubs in the Nigerian league. Someone may see one of the losers, oh, I like what I've seen in this player, pick him up. And you don't see these things everywhere. We need to start seeing these things. Sometimes everyone insults the NFF. Sometimes we hit out at the sport ministry. You ask yourself, what are the state organizers doing? What are the state FAs doing? The local and everything. And it's things like this that will make it. Everyone should play their part. And I think you have no choice but to commend Bayelsa for what they just did.
Yeah, you want to imagine if every state does this, what we will have. If government is not going to hands off, like Austin said, okay, let's have a semblance of what it should be if the private sector is rolling in. So nobody's going to complain. If players are getting rewarded, scouts are coming to pick players, we're not getting complaints about players being cheated, the real actors being pushed behind the stage. I mean, nobody's going to complain, and that will help us to gradually get to the point where we are going, and hopefully this will continue. And of course, I join you in commending Bayelsa State for doing all of this. It's not just empty words. All right, let's move on the show. In a similar vein, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sonny Dare, has urged stakeholders to use sports to sustain to stimulate sustainable economic activities. The minister made this known at the launch of a private sector-driven initiative tagged Sports Nigeria in Lagos. The minister was represented by Sports Administrator Dr. Eri Nzeku, and of course he said platforms like Sport Nigeria will complement the government's sports development efforts at national and sub-national levels. Let's take some reactions and come back for more Sports Tonight.
The point is that credible platforms are being sought, both by all of those who want to support sport. They don't want to give monies to government. They're looking for that entity that they can monitor, that has the right evaluation skills, that's accountable, to pass the funding on to either the individuals, the sports, and so on. So clearly there's a need for that, and that is what Sport Nigeria has come to fill right now.
It's not about going to the Olympics. I always want people to understand, it's not about going to the World Cup. We will always go. There will always be 22 people who will suit up. There will always be the odd 30, 40, 50 people who will send to the Olympics. But it's not about that. It's about the 100 million people who want to do sport and have nowhere to go, who are prepared to spend 100 naira every day fulfilling their passion and deliver a 2 trillion economy. It's about us having a sustainable pathway for a raw talent to go from raw talent to finished product. Now we go and look for who was born, his father's 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 father, so and can trace his lineage 5 generations, so that we can say to that person, we'll give you a passport. Why? In a country of 200 million people, it should be as easy as ABC. That if you enter school today, primary 1, I should be able to find you as an athlete in primary 3 and take you through the 12-year period that will enable you to represent Nigeria.
It's a virtuous cycle, because as you make more impact in on the social side, it encourages the business side. As you make more impact on the business side, it leads you to greater achievements on the social side. So they will feed each other, and hopefully we'll get to a spot where the rest of the world has got to.
All right. I mean, people you love to listen to, Eri Nzeku, Kechi Obi, and about the follow there. I mean, Sports Nigeria, hopefully they'll be able to achieve the things they plan to achieve through its activities. Of course, they want to develop the sports industry value chain and also contribute to sports as a platform for economic, social, and youth development. I mean, also you listen to the key actors, what they had to say. I mean, I like the parts of being able to contribute to develop athletes, not necessarily going cap in hand begging somebody whose great-great-grandfather can trace his lineage to Nigeria. I mean, we should be able to develop talents here, and all of the efforts that Sports Nigeria will put on the table, hopefully we'll get to that point.
That's right. I mean, we must start building from the bottom to the top again. We must respect whatever is happening at the grassroots. We must give attention to foundational building, because we just want ready-mades. That's what is happening, and that's why we're not looking inwards anymore. If you heard what Governor Diri said, he was already seeing the gains of Bayelsa United from hosting a community football competition. That's how we should be thinking. And when we get to that level, we should start thinking about a sustainable business environment. That's very, very important, because I noticed that we just talk sports business, and we think you need an environment that will make it thrive, because it's not a debate that we've got the talent, but why are we not using these talents to build? Why is sports not part of economic development and gains in the country? Why do we struggle to have sponsorship for even the league or the Super Eagles or the Falcons? We're getting some disturbing stories coming from Morocco as regards the Falcons, and everything comes to the fact that we have not found a way to make sports a proper business in Nigeria. So we've been having this sort of conversation over and over again. It's time to put words to action. So I totally agree with everything that Nkechi Obi talked about, that we need to stop this over-reliance on foreign bond. We don't have any problem with whoever wants to represent the motherland, but we should be doing something back home, just so we can give hope and, put some encouragement and empower some young talents back home.
Yeah, but let me just get your thoughts. Across the globe, the highest earners are people in sports and entertainment. even journalists covering them are the highest earners. In Africa, especially Nigeria, it's the opposite. They are the poorest. Let's not even talk about the journalists covering them. It's really sad. But I like what Austin said about creating the right environment. Ideas are good. If the right environment is not there, there's nothing you can do.
Well, I've had conversations with people. Okay, I think Austin can even testify to it that stay in UK. I don't think there's any school in the UK that you don't do sports. There should be some basic things you should do. We have many schools, nothing like sport, not even PHE or PE, anyone decides to call it. There are some things that are basic. And if you listen to Nkechi Obi, she was specific about homegrown. It's not about the Olympics and World Cup here. I think I've said here before, I had a meeting with some South Africans, and they said the Charlie Clough and Co that won gold medals and everything at the Rio Olympics. It was not by magic. They were in schools that they participated in these things over and over again. If possible, if you don't have anywhere you can do sports or in your school, don't bother registering. Things like this, it will be a part of you. Not that you jump when you are 25, you want to play football. When you are 25, I think I have passion. Nah, it's something that should grow with you. And the sports business is huge in many countries, especially in Europe. But here, like 200 million people, we have talent should never be. I not gave up. My mind dropped when even this current Falcons team, majority, almost all of them are even abroad. Falcons before, at least everyone will be home ground. So we need to do much more. Invest in this. There's money to be made. But if you don't go deep, if you don't dig deep, if people don't start doing things like this, we may suffer for it. So I hope the Sports Nigeria succeeds. If this is their plan and they follow through, I think the next maybe 10, 15 years of Nigerian sports could have a turnaround. That's if they don't get frustrated.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't. All right, let's move on quickly. We're pressed for time. Also already talked about where we're going next, the Super Falcons. There's been a lot of reactions. We went to town. And, let me allow us to take us through. A lot of people have been speaking their mind.
A lot, Yemi, and these things happens, when we have so much expectations. It's the Super Falcons. We expected them to, beat Morocco, go to the finals, win it for a record 10th time. But I just want everyone to calm down and appreciate what the girls did for the country. They fought. It wasn't easy. There was some subtle agenda in the background not to make them win it for the 10th time, but they did what they did. So let's just hope that in the third place match against Zambia, they will come out, win that one, and just end the competition on a high. So but we don't like the story we're hearing. We're waiting for the NFF to come out and say something that there are reports that the girls are protesting, they are not training because they're still owed their bonuses and allowances. So we shouldn't be talking about this in 2022, particularly when you see the level of work that these girls have put into the WAFCON. So everyone that is disappointed about what happened against Morocco, let's move on, wish them all the best. They have a World Cup, which is a bigger mission, to carry. And Bolu, I'm sure you are also hoping that they go all the way against Zambia and then at least bring bronze back home.
Well, with the way things are now, hopefully they play that game. I saw the protest, and there was a report, at least a confirmed report associated with the minister, that many people try to blame the minister, but they didn't get the budget from the NFF until 2 weeks to the tournament. That's a competition we knew about like 2 years ago. Then you ask yourself, what have we learned in the last few years? I remember we had something similar in 2016 under Florence Omagbemi, who supported the players on this same issue. 6 years later, we are still dragging this same issue. I think we should have grown past this. Some people will tell you, why is it that we always complain, say bad things? I said, but we say the things we see. How will ladies, if you don't even pity them, they hustled.
Let me just butt in. Let's spice it up with some good news. So let's give our viewers the good news before we go on a break. I'm very happy the cameras didn't catch Bolu when he bumped his fist. Something happened at the CAF Awards that will make you bump your face. So give it to the viewers. They are waiting. Asisat Oshoala winning that award. Women's Player of the Year?
I think you can call her the greatest African women player. Five. The closest is Perpetua and Kocha with 4. So congratulations. We will pop some champagne.
You never doubted that.
Nah.
Okay. All right. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, some journalists have been talking about what happened to the Super Falcons right there in Morocco. We'll listen to them. We'll also, the CAF Awards currently going on, we'll also do our best to fill you in with what is happening right there. But let's go on a break and return for more. We'll sports tonight. All right, welcome back. There's something to smile about. In Morocco, the CAF Awards are currently going on. Earlier, I talked about us listening to cross-section of journalists talking about, I guess we'll do that another time. We'll press for time. Today, let's talk about something that can make us smile. Bolu said, hopefully the girls will play their game. That's what we're hoping for. All the news we are hearing, not really good. Sports Minister, through his spokesperson, they've made some clarifications about the issues relating to the money. Hopefully that will be sorted. But just in case you missed it, let's say it again. African Women Player of the Year for the 5th time, Asisat Oshoala. And Bolu told me while we were on that break that all the awards today, the winners have been expected. For the men, Sadio Mane, of course, has emerged. I mean, who else could have won anyway? The best player, male, in the male category. Bolu, let me quickly come to you before I go to Austin. I must be honest, I doubted for a while.
I think maybe some persons had a few doubts. Many were rooting for Gatlana. I said to myself, Gatlana is literally South Africa's best player. But Rasheedat Ajibade is not Nigeria's best player. Rasheedat Ajibade doesn't start all the time for Atletico. So I knew that one is on the side. And the fact that Oshoala didn't even play all through, she had injuries for roughly 4 months. She still won the highest scorer. So when you check the team she played for, the awards she won, the titles she won, and the goals she scored, her contributions, I think it was a no-brainer for that. And I also believe everyone... Maybe if it was still 10, maybe Gatlana or some other player, you would still be doubting based on Alcon or the WAFCON performance. But immediately it was just left to those 3. I knew it was a straight victory for Oshoala.
Was it you? You also talked about the calendar, the time belts, the space that whatever was happening now wasn't going to...
I think the only thing this tournament would affect is the team of the year for women. They said, according to CAF, that in the last 1 year, they've not had anything for the women. So this will have majority, not majority, winner of this WAFCON will win the team of the year for men. So apart from this tournament, I think others were expecting, like the team of the year for club, you expect is going to be winner of the Champions League. For women's, winner of the Women's Champions League. So it's Wydad Casablanca for the men, Mamelodi Sundowns who won the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League, Mantasa Young Player of the Year, Senegal Men's Team of the Year, and as usual, Cisse for the Coach of the Year.
Okay, so what you have on your screen is what we have been talking about. Asisat Oshoala, of course, emerging as the Women's Player of the Year, like we said, for the 5th time. And again, we talked about this man. It was always difficult to bet against him. Sadio Mane, of course, and he has edged Salah quite, maybe 3 occasions, so it was always going to be difficult to give it to Salah ahead of him. Let me go to Austin quickly because we're pressed for time. Were you surprised? I mean, these are the major awards. All of the others, we'll talk about it later. Were you surprised with these 2 coming out tops?
Oh, no. All day, every day. I knew Asisat Oshoala was going to win it. Let's just say thank you so much, Asisat, for putting the country on the map again, always, making us, happy when we're saying what's going on with the men. We can't even make the short list, and she's winning it for a record 5th time. She deserves all the love, all the support. So thank you so much, Asisat Oshoala, and congratulations. For Sadio Mane, who can question it here? I mean, who can question what Sadio Mane has done for Senegalese football? Single-handedly, I think he carried that team to win the AFCON, carried that team to qualify for the World Cup, and was still doing it for club. So totally deserves to win it. Well deserved all day, every day. The only question I still have, It's Pizzo.
Ooh, okay. All right, Bolu, before we go to the last thing we have on there, let's reel out some of the other winners. Austin has taken us to that point, Coach of the Year, some of those other awards. Just to mention before we go.
Like I said earlier, Women's Player Team of the Year, obviously Mamelodi Sundowns, they won the CAF Women's Champions League. Club of the Year, men, Wydad Casablanca. Papi Metassa won the African Young Player of the Year. Senegal, obviously, the Team of the Year. And then Malou Cisse won the Coach of the Year for men. And you should expect no other person than the Israelis to win the Coach of the Year for the women.
Okay. All right. So that's it. So those are the awards. Let's move on the show and spend the remaining minutes that we have to talk about what's happening on the domestic scene. Austin, let's quickly talk about the second Betsy Obaseki tournament, the second edition of that tournament. We were here a while ago. Of course, we had the pleasure of speaking with the First Lady. She talked about our agenda. Now again, we're talking about the second edition.
That's right, and this time is even getting better. And before we get into the competition proper, remember it was because of what they did in the maiden edition that FIFA invited the deputy governor to come to one of their events in Zurich. So the world is watching. So this is beyond women's football, it's women's empowerment. And we've said it that we can use football to empower the girl child. So good job to Her Excellency, the First Lady of Edo State, Mrs. Betsy Obaseki. She was on this show last year, and she told us that she has a renewed commitment to keep this going. So we're glad that the second edition is they're already preparing for it, and the prize money even increased from 3 million to 5 million naira. So this is beautiful for women's football in Nigeria. And that's what we're talking about. More states need to jump into this, find a way to get the youths busy, and then we'll find ways to start making economic gains through football and sports.
All right, so that's a good place to leave it for now. We'll listen to some of the key players around in that event, and we'll talk about it when we have more time, probably tomorrow. But as we go, let me get the parting shot of Bolu. Bolu, as we go, I mean, our parting shot should be about the Super Falcons. Hopefully they get to play tomorrow.
Well, first off, congratulations for the second edition in advance for the Betsy Cup. She said it last year, they'll continue, and now they give another. As of Super Falcons, you know, it's still bronze, but we'll manage it. So Zambia, I'm sorry, you've qualified for the World Cup, so don't worry about any medal. The bronze medal belongs to the Falcons.
But let us win first. Let us win first.
Let them play first.
Let them play first, at least.
I won't be here if they don't win.
All right, Bolo Money, I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Hopefully we'll do this some other time.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right, that's the show today. We really do hope that you enjoyed everything that we've brought to you. We are always gladdened by the fact that we know you're right across us. You allow us into your homes. It's a privilege we will never take for granted. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
Let's keep the conversation going on Twitter, our channels, _sports in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.